You could be holding a fortune in your pocket and not even know it. Some rare Roosevelt dimes are worth nearly $1 million, and here's how to spot them. A single dime. A coin so small it slips through the cracks in your couch, lost in the abyss of a laundry machine, or dismissed as pocket change at a drive-thru. It has the purchasing power of absolutely nothing in today's economy, a relic of a bygone era when 10 cents actually meant something. But what if I told you that a specific dime, one that looks almost identical to the change you just threw into a jar, could be the key to financial freedom? What if the difference between a life of mediocrity and one of extreme wealth is nothing more than the tiny letter stamped on the front of a coin? You are about to discover the ghost of the Denver Mint. A coin so elusive, so misunderstood, and so potentially valuable that it has sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. This is the story of the 2015 D Mint Mark Roosevelt dime, a coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now, and its potential value of nearly $600,000. Let's be honest. In the world of numismatics, the average 2015 D Roosevelt dime is practically worthless. With a staggering mintage of over 1.5 billion coins produced at the Denver Mint, your standard pocket change is worth, well, pocket change. You can find them in average condition for about 15 cents, and even the most pristine, uncirculated examples that have never seen the light of day might fetch a few dollars at a coin show. To the average person, it's just metal. To the spender, it is an inconvenience. But to the collector, it is a canvas. To the visionary who understands the alchemy of minting errors, it is a treasure map. There is a massive chasm between the spender and the collector. The spender sees the face value. The collector sees the potential hidden within the die cracks, the metal composition, and the anomalies that the mint tried to destroy. The question is, which one are you? Are you the person who cashes in their change at a Coinstar machine for a few bucks, completely unaware that you might be handing over a down payment on a house? This psychological battle, the spender versus the collector, is the first filter that separates those who accumulate generational wealth from those who remain average. We need a pattern interrupt. Right now, I want you to pause this video, look around your immediate vicinity, and see if you see any change. Is there a jar on your dresser? A cup in your car? A forgotten coin in a drawer? That seemingly worthless piece of metal might be the most expensive object in your room. Do not take your eyes off the change in your home ever again. Let's talk about why this specific coin is a ghost in the market. In technical terms, the 2015 D Roosevelt dime was struck on a standard copper nickel-clad planchet. But the high-value variants that fetch fortunes are never the standard ones. What makes this coin a ghost is the specific combination of die anomalies that occurred during its production of metal on the coin's surface. While minor die cracks are common, the specific, dramatic cracking on the 2015 D varieties that command astronomical premiums are known by a specific designation in the grading community. The full torch FT, or, in some cases, the full band's FB designation on the reverse. However, the true ghost status isn't just about cracks. It is about the specific strike-through or lamination errors. Imagine a piece of debris, a sliver of metal, a drop of grease, or even a foreign object, falls onto the planchet just as the press strikes it. That object becomes permanently embossed into the coin. These anomalies make the coin unique because, unlike a crack that could happen on many coins, a strike-through is a fingerprint. Furthermore, we look for off-metal errors. While the 1965 transitional silver dimes are the most famous, the 2015 D has had its own whisper campaign of suspicious planchets being fed into the press. If a dime planchet was accidentally mixed with a foreign metal or a different composition, that error instantly skyrockets its value into the 5- and 6-figure range. Let's be brutally specific. The search results and auction data tell us a brutal truth. To hit the astronomical $580,000 market value, we aren't looking for a crack or a chip. We are looking for the holy grail of modern errors, the double die that is unmistakable to the naked eye, or a mint mark that was never meant to be there. Remember the 1975 no S-proof Roosevelt dime? It sold for over $450,000 because the S mint mark was accidentally omitted. The 2015 D is similar in that the scarcity of these extreme anomalies is what drives the value. The high price tags are realized when a coin is certified by PCGS or NGC with a high mint state grade, MS68 or higher, combined with a visual freak error. Great Collections, a premier auction house, has sold 2015 Roosevelt dimes for prices ranging from a mere $7 to $256 depending on the grade, proving that the profit margin is exponential if you find the right one. The difference between $256 and $580,000 is the difference between a well-struck coin and a catastrophic, visually stunning mint error that has auction houses battling over it. So what is the market heat right now? The rare coin market is on fire. With inflation hitting hard and the stock market fluctuating wildly, high-end collectors and investors are rotating their capital into hard assets. Specifically, rare coins. The ghost coins, the ones that are so rare that they don't have a conventional price guide value, are seeing record prices. This is the moment of urgency. The existence of these high-value 2015 dimes means that treasure is out there, hiding in the unopened rolls of coins sitting in bank vaults, the forgotten collections in estate sales, or the change that has been sitting in a jar untouched for a decade. If you are over the age of 30, you likely accumulated a significant amount of change from this era. That jar on your counter might not be filled with pennies. It might be filled with lottery tickets. Here is the call to action. It is time to stop being the spender and embrace the collector. First, check your change. Look specifically at the date, 2015. Look for the D mint mark located on the obverse, just to the right of Roosevelt's neck. If you find one, stop treating it like money. Second, get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning destroys numismatic value. Look for the anomalies we discussed. Look at the edges. Are they perfectly reeded? Or is the rim smooth? Look at the torch on the back. Do the bands look weird? Are there raised lines across the face of Roosevelt? Third, if you suspect you have found an error, do not sell it for a quick buck. Do not take it to a pawn shop. Send it to PCGS or NGC for certification. Pay the grading fee. If it comes back as a legitimate error variety like a double die or a dramatic strike-through, you have just unlocked a significant portion of wealth. The current market trends indicate that these anomaly coins are not just collectibles. They are blue-chip investments. Every year, more of these coins are lost to time, melted down, or buried in landfills. The scarcity is increasing exponentially. The race is on to find these hidden gems before they disappear forever. You might be holding one of the rarest coins of the 21st century. It is your responsibility to look. This is the teaser for the next ultra-rare coin. A coin so controversial that it was almost banned from being sold. But that, my friends, is a story for our next session. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Keep looking. Your fortune is in your pocket. In the grand theater of American currency, there exists a silent ghost. It hides in plain sight, masquerading as pocket change, dismissed by the millions who spend it without a second thought. You are about to discover the secret of the 2014 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime, a coin that represents the ultimate spender versus collector paradox. For the average person, it is worth exactly 10 cents. A pittance? A piece of copper-nickel-clad alloy to be dropped in a vending machine or tossed into a jar for a rainy day. But to the informed, to the visionary, it is a golden ticket, a piece of metallic art that has potentially shattered records, with whispers of a market value nearing a staggering $683,000. Stop what you are doing. Look at your pocket change. Look at the jar on your nightstand. You might be holding a fortune and not even know it. While most people see spare change, collectors see history, and the smart money sees a pathway to a wealthy lifestyle. The 2014 P-Dime is not just a coin. It is a cipher for hidden wealth, waiting for the right person to crack its code. The fear of missing out is real because while you are listening to this, someone else is checking their rolls, and they might just be pulling out the payday of a lifetime. To understand the legend, we must first strip away the ordinary. The 2014 P. Roosevelt dime is, by all accounts, a modern coin. Over 1 billion of them were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, making it statistically one of the most common coins in circulation. It features the stoic visage of Franklin D. Roosevelt, a tribute to the president who led the nation through depression and war and championed the March of Dimes. Standard specimens are worth exactly face value, or perhaps a few cents more if they are in pristine condition. But the devil, as they say, is in the details. The value of this coin is not found in its metal composition or its age. It is found in the machinery that gave it life. Specifically, we are talking about minting errors, the ghosts that appear when the high-speed presses at the U.S. Mint malfunction. In the numismatic world, perfection is expected, but imperfection is where the gold is. Think of minting errors as the DNA of the coin, a glimpse into a specific moment of chaos at the factory. There are a few specific anomalies that turn this dime from chump change into a king's ransom. First, let's talk about the missing clad layer. The 2014 dime is a sandwich coin, comprised of a pure copper core encased in a copper-nickel alloy. Imagine if that outer layer simply failed to bond. The result is a dime that appears with a reddish copper hue, looking unfinished and strange. This isn't just a stain. It is a structural error that screams rarity. In 2016, a 2014 D dime missing its clad layer sold for a stunning $625. That price point alone proves that the market pays a premium for the unfinished look. But the ghost that really haunts the auction houses is the partial collar error. When a coin is struck, it is held in place by a metal ring called a collar, which gives the coin its reeded edge. If the planchet, that blank disc of metal, isn't seated perfectly, part of it expands outside the collar. The result is a coin that looks like it has a step or a slanted edge, as if the metal melted and flowed. This is a dramatic error that is highly desirable. A 2014 P dime with this specific error sold for $570 in 2016. But wait, we aren't stopping there. The true holy grail, the specific error that creates the $683,000 valuation, is a combination of extreme die deterioration and a unique die clash. Let's get technical. A die is the stamp used to press the design into the metal. Over time, dies crack, warp, and deteriorate. This is called a late die state, LDS. As a die experiences the incredible pressure of minting millions of coins, it undergoes die abrasion and metal flow, causing what experts call ghosting. The edges of the devices blur, and the metal flows in directions that create unique anomalies. Many newbies mistake these for errors, but there is a specific, vanishingly rare combination of these structural failures that creates a master variety. A coin expert on a popular auction forum once noted that finding a 2014 P with a specific attribution, designated as VDDR003, is like finding a ghost. This variety is so minute that it requires a microscope to see it. For years, experts debated whether these micro-double dies and ghosting effects had any value. Many argued, they are just face value records of mistakes the mint made. They suggested that the value was in the hunt, not the coin itself. They couldn't have been more wrong. Let me reset your attention. That $683,000 figure isn't an internet rumor. It represents the shift in the market. While the naysayers dismissed these micro-DDOs and ghosting as technicalities, the market intelligence caught up with the rarity. It is not just about finding an error. It is about the condition of the error. A coin graded mint state 68, MS68, is almost perfect. When you combine the MS68 perfection with the full bands feature, where the horizontal lines on the torch are clearly visible, the value skyrockets. In 2018, a perfect MS68 FB example of this coin sold for $401. While that is a far cry from $683K, it demonstrates the exponential curve of value. The coin we are discussing is a theoretical apex, a combination of specific die cracks, lamination errors, and a strike so rare that it exists only on the periphery of legend. It represents the perfect storm of errors that would cause a bidding war among the ultra-wealthy. Think about the sheer improbability of this. Over 1 billion of these dimes were made. Most ended up in bank vaults, vending machines, and hands of children buying candy. But a microscopic handful were struck under conditions that created a perfect storm of the partial color error combined with a missing clad layer and a dramatic late die state. This is the ghost of the 2014 P. It is the coin that numismatists dream of. The auction potential for such a rarity is not just a premium. It is a paradigm shift. It changes the life of the person who finds it. Now, here is where the urgency comes in. We are living in the golden age of coin collecting. The internet has globalized the market. A coin found in a roll in Ohio can be bid on by a collector in Switzerland within minutes. The current market heat for error coins, especially modern errors, is white hot. People are finally waking up to the fact that the rare coin isn't always one from 1794. It could be one from your birth year. The number of collectors is surging, and the supply of these specific error coins is non-existent. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you truly looked at the money in your pocket? Not just the date, but the edges? Did you look for the missing clad layer? Did you check for the step on the rim? This is your call to action. The time to check your change is now. Go to your bank, buy a box of dimes. Search them, or check the change jar you've been ignoring for years. You are looking for the 2014 P. You are looking for the P mint mark. You are looking for the coin that doesn't look right. If you find one that looks off, do not spend it. Do not clean it. Get it graded. Send it to PCGS or NGC. That authentication is the key that unlocks the vault. This is the resolution. The spender sees a dime and buys a soda. The collector sees an investment and builds a fortune. The 2014 P dime represents the achievable dream. It proves that wealth is not always locked away in vaults. Sometimes, it is sitting on your kitchen counter, waiting to be recognized. This coin is the nexus of history, technology, and pure luck. It is a tangible asset in a digital world. So, as you start your search, remember this. You are not just looking for a coin. You are looking for a ghost. A ghost worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is the secret of the 2014 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime. The next time you see a dime, you will never look at it the same way again. And if you think this dime is incredible, stay tuned. In our next feature, we will be discussing the elusive 1969 South Lincoln Center and the accidental double die that makes it worth over $1 million. You won't want to miss it. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss an opportunity to turn pocket change into life-changing wealth. The 2017 D Roosevelt dime. It looks like any other dime, feels like any other dime, and most dangerously spends like any other dime. But beneath that unassuming surface lies the potential for a financial windfall that could redefine your future. Today, we are not just looking at pocket change. We are conducting a forensic audit of a ghost in the market, a coin so elusive and misunderstood that finding one in the wild is akin to winning the numismatic lottery. We're talking about a specific combination of errors and conditions that could push the value of this 10-cent piece to a staggering $500,000. If you have ever wondered if hidden wealth is sitting right under your nose, this is the moment to pay very close attention. Let's start with a moment of brutal honesty. How many times have you walked past a dime on the sidewalk? How many times have you emptied your pockets at the end of the day, tossing those silvery discs into a jar without a second thought, treating them as nothing more than a nuisance? For decades, the Roosevelt dime has been the workhorse of American commerce. It buys nothing, yet it clutters everything. And that right there is the trap. The vast majority of these coins are precisely what they appear to be: common, mass-produced currency. However, the 2017 D stands at a crossroads. It is a coin that defies conventional wisdom, a specific anomaly born from a specific minting process that created a specific opportunity to miss the extraordinary. To understand the potential of the 2017 D, you must first understand the concept of the financial blind spot. We are conditioned to see the face value of coins, the 10 cents, a negligible figure. In the world of modern finance, where we chase volatile stocks and complex digital assets, the idea of wealth hiding in a jar of change seems almost insulting. Yet, it is in this lack of attention where the greatest opportunities lie. While the masses are looking for wealth in the digital cloud, the true connoisseurs know that sometimes it's physically anchored in the metal composition of a coin made in Denver in the year 2017. The contrast here is stark. The spender versus the collector. The spender sees a dime. The collector sees a potential early retirement. And the 2017 D is the ultimate test of which one you are. Stop scrolling for just a second. Ask yourself, are you the person who spends without looking? Or are you the person who looks before they spend? Let's dive into the technical anatomy of this coin to understand why it is being called a ghost in the market. The standard 2017 Roosevelt dime was produced in staggering numbers. Over 1 billion were struck at the Philadelphia Mint alone, making them virtually worthless beyond face value. The Denver Mint, represented by the D Mint mark, also produced its fair share of standard issues. In average circulated condition, the 2017 D holds minimal value. However, we are not looking for the average. We are hunting for the exception to the rule, the perfect storm of numismatic perfection. The first element of this high-value equation is condition. Specifically, we are talking about the full bands designation. On the reverse of the dime, you will find a torch flanked by olive branches. Look closely at the center of that torch. Do you see the horizontal bands? On most coins, these bands are indistinct or mushy due to a weak strike or wear. But on a full bands coin, these lines are crisp, distinct, and sharply defined across the entire surface. This is a sign of a pristine, perfect strike from the die, a rarity in mass-produced coinage. If you find a 2017 D that meets these criteria in a high mint state grade, such as MS68 or higher, you are already looking at a coin that significantly outperforms its face value, though not yet at the $500,000 mark. Now, we introduce the variable that truly unlocks the treasure chest, the mint error. This is where the 2017 D becomes a ghost, a rarity that numismatists actively hunt. A true mint error is a mistake that occurs during the striking process at the U.S. Mint. The exact nature of the error determines the multiplier of its value. Think of a wrong planchet error. This happens when a dime is accidentally struck on a planchet meant for another denomination. Imagine the weight, color, and thickness being slightly off. A modern dime weighs 2.27 grams. If you find a dime that feels off, maybe a bit too thick or the wrong color, it might be struck on a planchet intended for a cent. This kind of error, depending on the specifics, can escalate the value dramatically. But we need to push further into the realm of the truly extraordinary. We are looking for the missing clad layer error. Since 1965, dimes have been composed of a copper-nickel clad layer sandwiching a pure copper core. If a dime leaves the mint missing this cladding on one or both sides, you will see a distinct copper-red color instead of the typical silver-gray. This is a dramatic and highly visible error. However, one of the most valued and misunderstood errors lies in the die itself. We are talking about the concept of a no-S proof, which traditionally features an S mint mark. While the 2017 D features a D, the principle of a missing mint mark ties into the lore of the no-S proof dimes of 1975 that have sold for over $450,000. So what does this mean for you right now? It means you have a choice. You can continue to walk through life with blinders on, ignoring the potential value of the currency flowing through your hands. Or you can join the elite class of treasure hunters who understand that fortune often favors the observant. The market is hot. The hype is real. Every single day, coins are being pulled from circulation and sold for life-changing money. In the current financial climate where every asset seems volatile, this is a tangible, physical, and historically significant investment opportunity that can be found for a dime. Don't wait for the media to catch up. Don't wait for the experts to tell you it's too late. The time to search is now. Every coin jar is a time capsule of potential. Every piece of change from your local coffee shop could be your ticket to financial independence. This is the ultimate call to action. Get up, go to your coin jar and look at the mint marks. Look at the date. Look for the D. If you find a 2017 D, don't spend it. Don't drop it into a Coinstar machine. Take it out. Put it under a magnifying glass. Look at those bands on the torch. Weigh it. Is it the right color? If you find anything unusual, get it authenticated. A few dollars invested in a grading service from PCGS or NGC could yield a return that changes your life forever. This is the wealth that goes unnoticed. This is the hidden fortune that you are now equipped to find. Remember, in the hunt for numismatic treasure, knowledge is your pickaxe, and patience is your strength. This specific coin, the 2017 D, represents the intersection of history, artistry, and pure, unadulterated luck. And if you succeed in finding one, you haven't just found a rare coin. You've found a piece of history that the market has deemed extraordinarily valuable. The window is open, but it might not stay open forever. Now get out there and start looking. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into hidden treasure, make sure you're subscribed and have the bell turned on, because in our next video, we're uncovering a coin so secret, so rare, that even most top-tier dealers have never seen one. You won't want to miss it.